I'm moving.
What's good? What's poppin'? It's your boy Jay. That's me. All right, let's dive into Smackdown for June the 9th, 2023. This, for the most part, was a solid show, minus the 4,225th return of one Charlotte Flair that infuriated me to the highest degree. That shit pissed me off. We'll talk about that when we get there. But the Bloodline stuff was solid. And for the most part, SmackDown was decent. For the most part, it was solid. Because of the Bloodline stuff. As per usual. So we kicked the show off with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. So Heyman gets on the mic. He goes to speak. But out comes my boy Jey Uso. So Solo stares a hole through Jey on his way down to the ring. The fans chant Uso. Jey says he lets a lot slide, but he's not sure if he can forgive stabbing your big brother in the back. Jey tosses the mic and it hits the mat. He tells Solo to speak. Paul Heyman says Jey has this all wrong. This is Jimmy Uso's fault and no one else, because Jimmy made up his mind for Jey. The fans begin to boo Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman backs Solo away and says Heyman is no threat to Jey. Heyman goes on and says Jimmy is upset over how Jey is being groomed to be the next tribal chief. He says Jimmy has resented it from day one. Heyman says tonight he arranged a match to begin Jey Uso's trajectory to be the successor to Roman Reigns. Heyman says Jey will bring gold back to the Bloodline tonight when he faces Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Heyman goes on hyping Jey up as the next tribal chief, but says it says first he needs his answer. Jey doesn't give it, but he says he'll take the title shot tonight, OG. Heyman offers his hand for a shake. He offers his hand for a handshake now. The fans chant Uso, and then a no chant breaks out. Jey looks on. Jey drops the mic. He says he'll get back to Heyman on that. And then Jey exits the ring. I thought this was great. This was absolutely tremendous. I love this. So good here. It sucks that Jey did not win against Austin Theory, but we'll talk about that when we get to the main event. All right, first match of the night. This is the men's qualifier for Money in the Bank. Santos Escobar versus Mustafa Ali from NXT. Santos Escobar gets the win via the super phantom driver from the middle rope for the 1, 2, 3. This was a solid, decent match. I think it went on maybe about 12 minutes, but it was decent nonetheless. So we only have one slot left for the men, and that's going to be, I think, Damian Priest versus... I know they go over it. It don't matter. But Cody Rhodes is not going to be involved, and that sucks. So, I'm guessing it's going to be Cody versus Brock at SummerSlam, I'm guessing. This absolutely sucks because Lesnar should be able to do both Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. Again, this Bloodline storyline has transcended the championships. It has. We don't need it. We need to see the downfall of the Bloodline. And I think that LA Knight was on commentary for this one as well. So he was. Moving on. Oh, yeah. The rest of the LWO, they celebrate with Santos and Ray. All right, moving on. So Sami Zayn, he walks up backstage to find Jey Uso. Sami says, this is a big night for Jey. He talks about how their times together were some of the best times of his life. And he knows Jey feels the same. Sami brings up the tribal chief and how he got in the way of more good times. Sami talks about how Roman is, when he's paranoid, and says he's testing him against his brother like he did Sami. Sami hopes Jey wins tonight, so the Bloodline realizes they need Jey more than Jey needs them. Sami reminds Jey to remember the consequences of what happens if you make that choice. No more Usos. And then Jey Uso walks off. Again, that was great. I'm fine with this. So Kayla Braxton, she's in the ring. She introduces Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, who are the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. So Kayla Braxton welcomes them to Smackdown. And then out comes Ronda and Shayna, who also have tag titles. So Shayna Baszler wants some clarification. She asks if Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are wanting to call themselves the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. She asks if they know the history of those NXT titles and says they were created because of her. Wrong, Shayna, wrong. You are incorrect. It's because of Sasha and Bayley. Get it right, baby girl. Get it right. So Isla Dawn, she begins to laugh when Ronda says this division isn't big enough for both of them. Isla Dawn says a title unification match is exciting. Alba Fire says they accept, and then the NXT tag champs, they attack, and a brawl breaks out. Isla saves Alba Fire from a double team and sends Ronda to the floor. So Baszler's double team, but then Ronda pulls Baszler to safety. So this makes sense. We all knew this was going to happen anyway. At least they finally explained it after a while. It took them forever. It took them well over a month to explain this shit. But at least we got an explanation. And we'll probably get this match at Money in the Bank. It makes sense because both Isla and Alba Fire are from the UK. So, yes, they're going to go to London, which is great. And we all know that Ronda and Shayna are going to win, and they'll probably be presented a new set of tag titles, one set, and that allows them to go through all three brands, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Not really. Moving on, we get a great video package and tribute video to the Iron Sheik. This was great. I enjoyed it. And then they're also going to be doing a re-airing of Iron Sheik special, his A&E biography. It'll air on Sunday, so that's great. Tremendous stuff, man. Tremendous stuff. Once again, the family of Iron Sheik is on our thoughts and prayers, and we send our deepest condolences to the family. And we will forever miss the Iron Sheik, but he will always be in our hearts and in our minds. Great stuff. What was not great, well, actually, no, it was great, that being Bayley defeating Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin. So, AJ Styles was out there on commentary, hyping up Mia Yim. So, Bayley wins via the Rose Plant. This match maybe went about 3 to 5 minutes, I want to say. Post-match was great. So, Bayley, she stands tall. And then out of nowhere, Scarlet, she comes up. She approaches AJ at the announce table. Then she spits red mist in his face. Karrion Kross locks in the cross jacket to AJ. And then Mia Yim comes out checking on AJ. And then Scarlet and Kross, they dip out. So I like this. This is fine. This continues AJ Styles' feud with Karrion Kross. Well, actually, no, this starts their feud. This can officially start their feud now. So this is good stuff here. But again, we all knew that Michin wasn't going to win anyway. Who cares? Next, moving on. So, Bianca Belair, she's backstage with Adam Pearce. She says she wants a match. Adam Pearce understands, but he needs this championship presentation segment to go off without any issues. He mentions Bianca being due a rematch and asks her just to leave Asuka alone for the night. Belair changes her tune when she hears she's up for rematch. And then they thank each other, and then Bianca Belair walks off, and we don't see her for the rest of the night. So, I'm fine with this. For now. So, moving on. So, AJ Styles, he's furious backstage. He's being checked on by the OC. He said he wants to fight. And then Mia Yim promises they'll take care of Scarlet and Karrion Kross. So, next week, we get a mixed tag between the two parties. I'm fine with that. That'll be fine. And this will be an easy win for Scarlet and Kross. I imagine that Mia Yim's going to take the pin here, obviously. I'm guessing we could do a singles match between AJ and Karrion Kross at Money in the Bank. I think that would be sufficient there. But you don't want to have too much on that card because you've got two Money in the Bank ladder matches. And then you've got Seth Rollins and whoever he's going to face, and then you also have Roman Reigns on the card as well. So you don't want to add too much to that, but you could easily fit AJ Styles and Karrion Kross on that Money in the Bank card for sure, if they really want to. Moving on. So Adam Pearce, he's out next in the ring, and he's with the new WWE Women's Championship. He brings out Asuka. So Pearce asks her for her title and then presents her with the new White Women's WWE title. So he puts the title around Asuka's waist, and then out of nowhere, like a mouse to cheese, out comes Miss Robotic herself, Charlotte Flair. Oh my God. And I wanted to literally break my 45-inch TV. I kid you not. I wanted to break the damn thing because this pissed me off. Charlotte Flair has not even been gone for 2 months, and she's already back again wanting the damn title. Oh, my God. This shit pisses me off beyond belief. This is so stupid. Andrade, my guy, please impregnate Charlotte. Please do it now. Do it now. Please. Oh my God, I'm so sick of this shit. Please, Andrade, impregnate her now. If not, just adopt a child. Oh my God. This is so nauseating. To the highest degree. And Charlotte is still a babyface. It's like, I don't get it. Like, Charlotte has no business being in this spot here. Has no business. Like, you couldn't return at Money in the Bank? Or the SmackDown after Money in the Bank? So, Adam Pearce asks Flair why she's out here. He thinks he knows and says she kind of needs to get in line. Flair says she doesn't wait in line. She made the line. She woos. Then Charlotte says hi to Asuka. She goes on about how no one respects Asuka like she does, but she wants this new title, so she's calling Asuka. Asuka speaks Japanese, then she accepts. Charlotte Flair then tells Adam Pearce he can put the title around her waist when she wins it. So then Asuka immediately spits, missed, but Flair ducks it. Flair then slams Asuka's face into the podium. Then she big boots Asuka and sends her out of the ring. Asuka regroups and stares down Charlotte Flair. And that was the end of that segment. Again, this doesn't make any sense, but I know what they're going to do here. They're probably going to do a triple threat match at Money in the Bank. Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. Asuka will probably retain by pinning Bianca. And then that's when we'll get Asuka versus Charlotte at not at WrestleMania, but at SummerSlam. And I guarantee that's how they're going to go about it. I guarantee you that. A triple threat at Money in the Bank, and then it'll be Asuka versus Charlotte at SummerSlam. I'm on to bet $100. That's how all this shit is going to play out. I'm willing to bet it. Guarantee you. This is how this shit's going to go down. Guarantee you that. Absolutely pathetic. A waste of time. We don't need Charlotte in the division. We don't. This is ridiculous. You mean to tell me her bodybuilding stuff's already over this quickly? Really? Damn. Andrade has got to knock up Charlotte Flair. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Because I'm sick of this shit. Moving on. So, Jey Uso and Paul Heyman, they're backstage now. So Heyman jokes about Jey leaving his handshake hanging earlier. Paul Heyman needs Jey's passport and suit measurements. He needs the passport so Jey can travel with the Bloodline to Money in the Bank, and suit measurements for next week's triple celebration. One celebration for Roman Reigns being in the house, one for Jey Uso's United States title win, and one celebration for public acknowledgement on Jey being groomed by Roman Reigns himself as the next tribal chief. Paul Heyman offers his hand again. Jey says count on him for next week, but he's not sure why Heyman is so happy, because if Jey's in the Bloodline, then Heyman is out. And then Jey walks out, leaving Paul Heyman hanging. And Heyman places a phone call. So, again, this is great. I'm loving this shit. This is fantastic stuff. Next, Money in the Bank qualifier match for the men. Butch, a.k.a. Pete Dunne, versus Baron Corbin. So, Baron Corbin loses to Butch via involvement from Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, which was great. I love seeing my boys on Smackdown. They fit in like a glove. They taunted Baron Corbin, which allowed Butch to get the win via a submission pin. So he had him in the armbar, and Corbin couldn't kick out. And then post-match, Corbin goes after Trick and Mello, and then they start to brawl, but the officials separate them. So this is fine. So the men's Money in the Bank so far, we have Santos Escobar, LA Knight, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, and now Pete Dunne, a.k.a. Butch. So I'm fine with this. We get a hype video for Bobby Lashley. Okay. We haven't seen him in a few weeks. What's the deal with him? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Next, IYO Sky versus Shotzi. IYO Sky gets the win via the moonsault. So, post-match, Bayley celebrates with Iyo, and then she taunts and makes fun of Shotzi. So we now have Iyo Sky, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, and Zelina Vega. So that's fine. They got one more match on Raw. One more slot open for the women on Raw. Moving on. So Kelly Braxton, she's backstage with Austin Theory. She asked him about facing Jey Uso tonight, and Austin Theory says he was the last to find out. How disrespectful was that? He knows Roman Reigns pulls strings and does what he wants, but Austin Theory makes no excuses. He had no time to get ready for tonight, but he will still be victorious. Austin Theory says he will send Jey back to the Bloodline like the failure he is when he beats him like he did John Cena at WrestleMania. And then Austin Theory says if Paul Heyman is looking for a new client after next week, he's invited to check out Austin Theory live. And then Austin Theory walks off. So, that's fine. I could see in the future where Austin Theory is a Paul Heyman guy. So, yeah, that could make sense and that could be believable. Let's be honest. That would be perfect, actually. Perfect. What wasn't perfect was this next segment, which is kind of a downer. So Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're backstage. They're talking. When they're interrupted by Pretty Deadly, who wants a title shot. So this leads us into basically the entire SmackDown's tag division, from the Brawling Brutes to the Street Profits, the LWO, and I think there's a couple more teams. Anyway, Adam Pearce books a gauntlet match, and before that, Kevin Owens just snaps and starts yelling at Adam Pearce. Starts yelling about all this competition. And then we get a hype video for Grayson Waller. And Charlotte Flair will be a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect next week. So, hopefully Grayson Waller will be wrestling pretty soon. We need it. We deserve it. I love me some Grayson Waller. I like his presentation that he has on the main roster. So they're kind of slowly but surely integrating him into the mix. And they'll get there. I'm just hoping that they will use him right on the main roster. Grayson Waller is very good. I would love to see him U.S. champion over Austin Theory. Let's just be honest. Grayson Waller has more upside than Austin Theory. He does. He's got more upside. Main event. Jey Uso versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Austin Theory retains. So towards the end of the match, Pretty Deadly, somehow they get involved for whatever reason. I have no idea why. So, Jimmy comes out to protect Jey. And, Solo comes out as well. So Jimmy fights off Pretty Deadly. He goes to... Wait. No. Let me go back. Let me start over. So Pretty Deadly, they rush to the ring to attack Jey. Jimmy Uso comes out to make the save. And then Jimmy, he fights off both guys are Pretty Deadly. Solo rushes the ring. He drops Jimmy while Jimmy's checking on Jey. Solo goes for the smalling spike to Jimmy, but Jey grabs his arm. And that was that erupted the crowd. The crowd erupted on that spot. That was a great spot right there. Then Solo knocks Jey away and turns to Jimmy, but then turns away from Jimmy's superkick. which by accident lays out Jey. And then this allows for Austin Theory to come in and steal the pin. So, post-match, the Usos, they're trying to recover in the ring. Solo looks on from the ramp. Paul Heyman is standing right behind Solo. Jimmy walks over to Jey and checks on him and then helps him to his feet. An Uso chant starts up from the crowd. Jey shoves Jimmy away and says he was just trying to help Jey. Jey exits the ring and stops to look at both Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. Heyman says he's sorry it had to be like this. Jey looks at Solo and Heyman and then back at Jimmy in the ring. And then Jey waves them all off and then he dips out. And then Paul Heyman tells his phone to call Roman Reigns. And then to end the show, we see Paul Heyman and Solo staring at Jimmy. Jimmy just looks down while leaning on the ropes. And then SmackDown goes off the air. So that was a good segment. I enjoyed that. Absolutely phenomenal. This causes more tension within the Bloodline. We don't know where Jay's head is really at right now with this. I'm guessing he'll probably side with Roman and Solo. Because, this could have been a real big moment for him. But by accident, Jimmy kicked Jey on accident. He didn't mean to do it. And I guess Jey didn't want to accept his apology. So it's interesting to see where this all goes. But SmackDown, for the most part, was decent. Minus the Charlotte Flair bullshit. But other than that, SmackDown was decent. But what did you guys think? Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.